All right, well, welcome to May 29th, 2022. I'm Kurt, and this is my daily Good Life meditation video. This is an exercise that I do each and every morning shortly after waking up to remember my life objectives and the principles that I use to achieve those, and to see how I did applying these to yesterday and to plan for today. It's just dawn, and it's time to get started. However, I'm a little out of sorts. Both my wife and I had our COVID, our third shots, the Pfizer shots on Friday. We were fine Friday night. Yumiko got him midway through the morning yesterday before kind of took her down. She's been kind of out of sorts. I don't know that she's sick, but I don't know if you can call it sick. It's more of a reaction, right? So she's had a reaction similar to feeling really, really sick all day yesterday. So she's been mostly in bed. I just this morning kind of began to feel it, so I'm a little out of sorts as well. Nevertheless, I've already been up. Keeping to my routine. I wrote in my journal already. Now I'll make this video, and then I'll proceed with my day. Although I think, boy, we need to go shopping though. I need to do shopping for the week, so I have to pull that off today. I can do it. Yep. Just more dad fuel. This cup that Yumiko and Chris got me. Thank you. Okay, first yesterday and last night. Didn't sleep well last night. Maybe it's because of the reaction to the vaccination. And also just kind of a little out of sorts mentally. I just don't know why I worry about work so much at night. I don't worry. I mean, I do worry about it during the day too. I guess it's just an underlying worry. Maybe, as Yumiko likes to say, maybe it's just time to worry. She says it's time for all kinds of things. Time to laugh, time to cry, time to be serious, time to worry. So yesterday was a so-so day. Oh, I did get a shipment ready to send sending a copy of Going Alone to Japan. I did get that ready. I've got another one that I need to get ready to ship out today as well. I wonder if I'll get around to that, or if I'll just sit in this chair all day and read. That's a nice idea. Fortunately, tomorrow's off too, the Memorial Day holiday. Okay, so here we go. 7 objectives and 30 principles. My first objective is to be always ready to die. Just to have my life in a state that I can go and leave as few problems behind as possible. There's a little bit less a mess as possible. 2 is to make good and effective use of my time, to not waste my days. 3, to develop and maintain good and sound life principles. That's these 77 objectives and 30 principles. That's why I work on them every day, as I'm doing now. Although I have a feeling that this morning I'm not going to give them quite the due diligence that I usually do. I'm just not feeling so good. But I should take the resolve and fortitude of Dr. Johnson, who even though in his older age, 2 years away from death, not feeling good, ill, getting regularly bled, still he kept up with his correspondence, and he resolved to have 8 hours of productive work every day. I can do the same. So I'm gonna smack myself into it. Okay, the next objective is to cultivate good emotional reactions, just not to let myself get swept away by what I feel, but to react well in spite of whatever's going on inside me, to have a face and maybe even a facade of balance and control, though I may be struggling to just to keep the water from flooding in below decks. imagine that, to be able to remain upright to remain upright while going down. The next objective is to just do good actions, find good ways to make the day good. Then to recognize my true limits and my true opportunity, and then to do just one thing at a time, and to do that thing slowly and deliberately. Oh, and did I get my circle? I sure did, which means that I get another dot on the death calendar. By the way, I gave up on the idea of the colored dots. So I guess I don't need to even do this anymore. Just decided to go with the black. And it's astonishing to see how quickly the dots are moving. It's spooky, actually. So then the next is my 30 principles. Number 1 is the principle of war, to always be fighting against what I think is true. Excuse me, I'm going to go quickly. Like I said, I'm not feeling so good. Damn the resolve. I'm just going to get through this, feed the dogs, read the Bible, and then maybe go back to bed. So 1, the principle of war, to always fight against what I think is true. 2, the principle of reason, and the sub-principles of honesty, objectivity, and doubt. 3, the principle of the homunculus, the reminder that the soul, there's no good reason to think that we have a soul. So instead, I comfort myself with the fact that I do have a consciousness. Although I have to remember, this is the next principle, the Anchorhold, that consciousness is trapped, anchored in within me, and will die utterly when I die. There appears to be no escape. Next is the home of good and evil, right and wrong reside with Homunculus. I like to imagine them kind of written in chalk on the inside of my skull. The idea being that right and wrong, good and evil don't exist outside of our minds. And the principle of purpose, and the 3 purposes in my life are to be a good husband and father, to be a virtuous human being, where virtue is defined as the attempts to improve the well-being of creatures, particularly thinking creatures that can suffer or know joy. And then purpose, and my 3 purpose are 1, to raise a child successfully. 2, and all that entails, home, family, career, everything, to provide that sort of support infrastructure. 2, to be am I repeating myself? I sound like I'm repeating myself. To be a virtuous human being. And then 3, to my own personal mission, which was the writing of my book, Going Alone. Available on eBay and at goingalone.org. And this good life creed is enumerated and explained in the book, as well as the story of how I came about it. Next is the principle, the atomic principle. Everything is made of bits and pieces, falling to pieces, including you and me. And then the principle of nature. Everything has some particular nature, and it's good to recognize what that is. And then maturity. I always mix those 2 up. Then comes the pirate ride, the suggestion that free will is an all too compelling illusion. But in the end, I don't think we're free. I think we're constrained by the influence of the universe about us into our choices. And then maturity, and the sub-principle of wisdom, and the other sub-principle of fortitude. We are mature when we wisely remember our successes and failures and strive to do better. And then the social principle, we humans need one another. We do better in groups, with families and communities. And then the principle of public speaking, a reminder to use my words carefully, to compose messages carefully, to review, revise, and to never ever gossip. And then temperance, reminder to be careful to consume less. And then the horror show, life is chock full of just terrible things happening all around us. And then that which must be borne, a reminder that of what we have to carry and bear in our life, namely the fact of the horror show and the fact of the responsibilities that we've onboarded in our adult life, particularly children. Once we do that, we, basically consign away half of our life to their support and maintenance. And then the Feast of Offal, which is something I try to avoid doing or consuming, which is the spreading of our upset around in the world, vocalizing our disappointment and our internal issues. I try to hold those, and there's ways to do it. There's ways, if you want to express it, there's ways to do it, but without hurting people. That's the thing, I don't want to hurt folks, just so that I can express. Sure, I have trouble and I have internal pain and frustrations, but I tend to hold them inside and find other ways to manage them. I don't try to release them. I stifle them down, and I say I'm going to do better. And they don't build up, because I am managing them. I'm just managing them in a non-expressive way. Okay, after that comes the best, two principles: distraction and agency in the great indifference. We distract ourselves all of our lives with our work and our homes and our families and our jobs and our hobbies, sports, and our religions, so that we don't have to see that we're all alone, the great indifference. It seems that there is no God or gods. We have to do this ourselves. And then after that comes the best seat in the house, to not want to be anyone else, be anywhere else, or be doing anything else, but to be okay with my circumstance, even when I'm not feeling so good like I am now. I'm okay with this. I just don't feel so good. Then comes the Path of Wildness, a way to move forward out of my current circumstance, to create a new chapter in life deliberately. And then the risk of avoiding risk, the surface level and the deep level risk of life. It's easy to spend all our time focusing on the surface level stuff: education, career, home, family, and what's the last one? Oh, security. And forget about the deep one, which is that some of us, it doesn't seem like it's all of us, seem compelled to, as the hippies would have said, to find themselves. If we are compelled to do that, it's good to do it. It doesn't seem to go away, that desire. Okay, and then comes sin and damnation, and there are 7 sins in my worldview: falsity, credulity, faith, superstition, dogma, authority, and gossip. Being untrue, believing things, even if it's unwittingly, that are untrue, or through our laziness or folly, that are untrue, or gossiping. So the consequence of all of those is kind of a damnation in the here and now. Then comes complete oblivion, the suggestion that if I don't have a soul and there is no God, that means there's no afterlife. And when I die, that's the end of me. My consciousness will wink out. My homunculus will dissolve away just like the rest of me. Hi, dog. So I better reach out and connect to people that I want to connect with now. Try to reconcile and to seek after justice through legal means, to the best of my ability. Participate in creating a just state, a just and good state. Or as Emperor Marcus Aurelius would say, the just and good city. Next comes the great life adventure, one or more experiences that helps us in life, that helps us to find ourselves, so to speak. And then the season of philosophy, a time to record what we've learned along the way. And then the bullseye aim, striving to hit the mark but usually missing. The uphill climb, remembering an uphill trudge through life. Nothing is enough, just a curious suggestion to not just have temperance, but to deliberately reduce our consumption to very little. I have a long way to go with that one. Obviously. And then finally, the principle of fun, a reminder to have a good time in the here and now, anticipating the future with hope, and looking back on the past with that fond remembrance. Made it through. Now let's do the think thoughts about today. It's a free day, thank goodness. I'm not feeling good. So I'll finish this, start this video uploading, go over, read the Bible, Isaiah 55, I think. Then I'll go downstairs and feed the dogs, and might have just a bit of salad, breakfast salad, yummy. And then I might climb back into bed, or maybe sit in this chair and read. We'll see. Got stuff to do today. I'll do my best to do it, but I don't feel good. That vaccine really got me. But it's good. It's better to have a little bit of be out of sorts on a holiday weekend than to get sick in earnest. Okay, take care. Be safe, but not too safe.